can start recording. Thank you. This is the adult education class, February 28th, 2026 at Mount Sinai Synagogue with our scholar in residence this weekend. Rabbi, I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm Rabbi Eitan Krul. It was very interesting Shabbat and prior to Shabbat. And I know that I'm dealing with very smart people, definitely warm people. And so the way I teach, the way I believe that we need to learn, it's how they used to study back in ancient times. Usually it used to be two, but it can be more. It's Chavuta. Chavuta means zusammen, together, people, Haverim, in a group. And because two people have two opinions, two people, sometimes three, two people come from two different worlds. So if we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and plus people on the Zoom, so much life experience, so much academic knowledge, and so much exposure to culture. So everyone brings his own to this to the study group. I can bring the knowledge of the halacha or the textbook, but my interpretation is no better than anyone else here. So if I say this is what we do and this is the portion, and so it's what I bring to the table. So what we're gonna do, we'll open a little bit the subject, and then we can discuss everything. Everything is debatable, almost. So we are in the portion of Tetzaveh, and as I was telling yesterday in my sermon, we were like the high priest is entering like to the zone. How he does it, he wears the clothes one by one, the garments, the jewelry here and there, the head, and it was very nice to see that that in Judaism you have to wear underwear. I didn't know. It's a mitzvah. Yeah. I said, what? It's so much fun. But it makes sense. It makes sense because all the mitzvahs especially the sacrifices, the offerings, they had to deal with reality that people were offered as sacrifice to the gods, and the Egyptian used to bury the house help with the landlords, and like there was no worth for human life, no. And here comes new religion, and it says you take the cow, or you take the sheep, or you take two pigeons, and for the pigeons you take the solid, and you make porridge, and they have answer for everything, and you do it exactly the way I'm telling you. No more, no less. It means everything has to be thoughtful. And do you hear me in this room? And so it is exactly as it's supposed to be. If you remember when we read about Nadav and Avihu,
It's just laying it on someone's by the front door. It could be the officer, it could be someone.
Or the outer door.
hello.
Hello.
So
Shall we move over? And that way
Nadav
they can sit
and Avihu.
together, folks?
Sure.
Carol,
Hi.
we want you to sit over here so you're not blocking the camera.
Oops.
So there's seats here.
when they did they officiated the first service of the Israelites, when they just finished building the Mishkan, they didn't like that the fire wasn't high enough, so they added more from the outside. And you don't add more from the outside. What happened? They both died. And so there was a lot of thoughtfulness and a lot of thought put into what going to be worn.
It's okay. I'll share.
We have more. I printed it in Israel, and it's an Israeli paper. How you know it's Israeli and not American?
By the
You know?
staple.
No, this is I bought here and I took it to Israel.
They're awesome.
Like,
I like it.
yes, and because in Israel you print A4 and here you print letter.
Right.
Oh,
So it's A4. It's longer and narrower. So, any thoughts about this? About being accurate and being
I think I've often wondered why these directions were put in the Torah versus in something else.
like Talmud or
Right. But I hadn't really thought of this as kind of an instruction manual or I know they're commandments, right? But I hadn't thought of it as, because it seems so basic, like you said, wearing certain garments to us, of course, something you grow up with, but different time didn't necessarily do the same thing.
The reference to undergarments is so as not to expose the nakedness of the priestess ascending the steps. And in a lot of parts of the world at that place and time, there were not undergarments.
Right.
it was like sexual celebration. We can take the Olympics, the Olympic Games.
It used to be done without any clothing.
Yes. So it's not even there. When we say there is ayin tachat ayin, shen tachat shen, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, and they say, why do we need to elaborate eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth? It's because back then, if you were caught stealing, they just kill you. And here we say, so they say no. If the eye was removed, so you take an eye. You don't kill this person and like everything is moderate. Everything needs to be exactly. The punishment needs to fit the crime. And a lot of respect to a human being And if you ask me about women, it will be another lesson, but it was very, very thoughtful of women back then. So we have exactly exact description of the garment. It's exact description of how to officiate the service, how to build the altar, how to set the Israelites when they go in the expedition to Canaan. Like everything was taken under consideration and for a purpose.
I think a lot of it has to do with preparation because the Siddur is modeled after the services. So you got to prepare your mind, you got to prepare your spirit. So that way, when you get to the actual prayer where you could pray for yourself, you're able to present yourself to God properly. So it's like a build up to meeting with God. You got to get ready for that. You can't just go any way you want.
Yes, very nice. You can never come from the outside and just you need to get into the zone. This is why I can never come with shorts to officiate a service. Because wow, this is a rabbi. I need at least to look decent, like people looking at me. And so I take my time. As I said, I need to take a few moments to get into the zone. This is exactly that. And you come ready. And in this week, we read it's Shabbat Zachor. Why we read Shabbat Zachor? Shabbat Zachor said, remember the Amalekites and how terrible they were to you. And I'll remind you how terrible they were just when the Israelites crossed the.
You asked a question.
I'm sorry, I
Didn't give a chance to
I'm
answer.
sorry.
So the reason for reading of the Amalekites is that Haman is considered to be a descendant of Amalek.
Yeah.
And that connects this Torah portion to the story. Correct or no?
Yes, correct. It's only one time the portion is different from the Shabbat. Not one time, in one situation, when it's leap year, not leap year, when you have 2 hours. So it's like terrible what's going on there in the. But I didn't prepare this. Huh?
Yeah.
It's good we don't have 2 hours this year, and yes, we'll talk about this. Thank you. The Amalekites, after the Israelites crossed the sea, they were tired, they were scared, they were just needed to regroup, and the Amalekites came from back, like at an ambush, and attacked them from behind. So all the weak and all the weary, they been attacked, and God never forgave the Amalekites for doing that, and it was a mitzvah to. It was a mitzvah to decimate the Amalekites. And good evening. So this is the Torah that we read this week. We were supposed to read this morning. So Saul was told to kill them. Samuel told him that they are going to the war with the Amalekites and they're gonna win, and he has to kill everyone, to kill the children, to kill the women, to kill the house animals, farm animals, everyone. What Saul did, Saul killed almost everyone. He kept the king, Agag, alive, and the farm animals. Samuel came, and as we said, all the mitzvahs as reason and thought behind, we don't question. We're not supposed as Israelites, as commoners, as simple Jews, we don't take the liberty to argue, because we don't know the reason. We don't know what's going on behind the scene. So maybe a local rabbi can tell the congregation, and I'm talking about mitzvahs, and I'm not talking about this congregation. I'm talking as academic argument. So it's not about us now. So what? So he didn't know. We don't know, but he was told exactly what to do, even as harsh as it can sound and as terrible as it can sound. This is what he had to do, and he didn't. Samuel came, and he lost, because of this, he lost the dynasty. It shifted to David, and until today, David, we are praying for the dynasty of David and the reign of David to come, and the Messiah is from David, and all because of this. And we can read today and understand today why it happened. When we put everything together, and Purim is just around the corner, and in the book of Esther that we read, as Jason said, that Agag, the king of the Amalekites, was an ancestor of Haman. And you see, when you spare life, when you are spared the life of the evil comes and it bites you in the ass, as you say. Sorry for my French. I sometimes think about the Hamas, that money was given to them in order to maybe prosperity will give them peace and quiet. Prosperity give them the power. And I think you don't spare evil. If you let evil in, you don't know what you're gonna get. And I think we get this as unity. And this is the story. This is why we have the Torah. And why our sages put this tetzaveh with the zechor and with just before Purim. I leave it for a sec. I explained what, like, the course of things, and let's hear what you have to say.
Well, one of the things I'm thinking about is that we don't know the result of our actions or our inactions. And it could be good and it could be bad. But there's really no way of knowing how things are going to play out ultimately in time. And that was true then, as you say, it's still true.
I'm missing the point.
The
So,
point is that if we do something good, just because we're doing something good, not to try to get a reward, just to do something, and something good is like a ripple effect, and something good can happen down the road in time that we had not anticipated.
yeah.
But it was a good thing and a ripple. And ditto, the same thing with bad. Because the ripple effect from bad. And we can't at the time know what that will be.
Can you define good and bad? What is good and what is bad?
Oh, yeah, just good, helping somebody. Whatever that help is. Doesn't have to
Making
be
the world a better place to live.
This is slogan. Tell me good, bad, making good. Yes, but what? It's like, it reminds me a joke that a child learned that he needs to help the elderly cross the street. So he saw an old lady and he took her to the cross the street with her, and she said, "But I didn't want to pass the." So did he do good? We don't know. I believe yes.
Well, I mean, holiness is about being set apart. We have to have boundaries, we have to have restrictions, and some things we should just not tolerate. And I think Torah does a good job in explaining what is appropriate, what is not. Some things like idolatry is not appropriate. It makes that very clear. Some things like sexual immorality, bloodshed, those things are very clear as inappropriate. So it's about having boundaries. Boundaries are healthy in the community and they're healthy for relationships, and we need to enforce boundaries. Sometimes inclusiveness isn't always a good thing.
But who sets the boundaries?
Well, that would be Torah.
Yes, but who is the arbiter of what Torah actually says and how it's read? You know, what is it really saying? You know, there's thousands of years of discourse, frequently with opposing opinions, because those opinions have to deal with context of what's being interpreted in a time and a place. It's not static. Interpretation is not static. The words of Torah are static, but the interpretation and the application of it is dynamic in every age.
And it's very cultural. Like at ancient times, if you were chubby and very, very wide, you consider to be beautiful because it represented wealth. And today you have to be tan and thin. Right. So if not, you are considered sick and so good and bad is.
You asked about good and bad. If I draw my lesson of good and bad from Torah, I think there's two archetypes that pervade across the breadth of Torah, including the Tanakh. And what's set as good is really established with Abraham and Sarah. What's bad is set with Sodom and Gomorrah. And the key are characteristics of those archetypes.
So
let me finish. The key characteristics of those archetypes is that with Abraham and Sarah, you have compassion, you have empathy, you have generosity, even to those who are not your own kin. And with Sodom and Gomorrah, you have predation. people are taking advantage in cruel manners of each other. And all the conflicts across, every time that we really get into trouble, the whole, you want to get into the reason why idolatry is so bad. Idolatry is this concept that we're going to bribe the deity and we're going to manipulate the deity to our will, whereas in the archetype of Abraham, what we are is we're supposed to be servants to God and compassionate towards our fellow human beings and life itself.
If Abraham and Sarah are archetype of good, so it's good to throw someone I hate, pregnant or with a child, to the wilderness, as Sarah did with Hagar and Ishmael.
It doesn't mean that because they are human beings and not comic book characters and not mythic type characters of heroism, it doesn't mean that everything they do is perfect. And in fact, it's reasonable to criticize people who have great respect for in Torah, because none of them are perfect. We aren't perfect, and their imperfection makes them more relatable.
So how do you say what is as archetypes of good, what is not good, and what and when it's good, when they are wrong and being criticized, or and they should be criticized?
So you're saying a person is measured only by their worst moments?
No.
Well, but you gave that example of Sarah and Abraham mistreating Hagar, which was wrong to do, but apparently God decided it was okay because God told Abraham to listen to her. So,
Yeah.
so is the evil on God's hands then?
No, because it makes your claim very, very, very debatable. What I think, it's. Wait, do you have something to say?
Go ahead first and then
No,
I'll say
just
something.
say. I have.
Well, it seems like I like your Abraham and Sarah, and they had a good idea of what was good and bad, but they didn't have the Ten Commandments, or good and bad has kind of changed over time as to what we perceive, and today it's even more complicated than ever.
Yeah.
But we have these guidelines, we have these things from Torah that help us make those choices.
Such as.
Well, like I just said, that the Ten Commandments, the 10 utterances. I mean, that's a basic. We have treat your neighbor as you'd like to be treated. I mean, we have all these things that help guide us. And
Yes.
Abraham and Sarah didn't have those things, but they still knew somehow it was something innate in their upbringing that they knew that they needed to treat people right.
I think good and bad is being perceived on the wrong way. On Deuteronomy, you say the reform prayer, they alternate sometimes the third blessing of the Shema with this Deuteronomy 30, I think. I give you the good and the bad, the curse and the blessing, life and death, and you choose life. You choose good. So, and I, as a person, get in many of my encounters, like bad things happen to me, and at the time, and with time, it be like I realized that it was good. It was blessing in disguise, as we say. And so I needed for myself, for my sanity, let's say, to find another understanding of good and bad. And I think that good and bad, it's what you put on the thing. This is glasses, this is font. If this font is good or bad, it's how you put on this. You can say, children can see porn also, it's bad. I can talk to my children when they are far away and see that my son is good, is safe. So this phone is good. So wait, it's good or bad? Nothing is good or bad. Things are as they are. This is what it is. This paper, even things that happen to you, you being fired, you being your boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, go to a better version of the spouse and leave you for them. So is it good? Is it bad? We don't know. Joseph was put twice into the pit. I bet when he was in the pit, naked, he didn't say, "Oh, I'm good, I'm gonna be king." Woo! But he needed to be there in order to become a king. And when he realized this, as a second of Pharaoh, he said, "Actually, I understand. This is the path I needed to go." So what we attribute to things, this sets the course of how we treat it. And I can give you an example. I have a friend. I hate her so much because she likes everything. Everything is good. You can shout at her, and she said, "You have such good lungs." You can lie to her, and she said, "You have great imagination." He said, "Everything is good." He said, "Everything is like, I don't know, this is good." And so you put your attributes to what happens to you, this is good and bad. If I come and you said, "This is a great rabbi, I love him," and so everything I do, I can stand and go, he is humming wonderfully. And so this is it. And you can say, "Oh, it's too flashy. I don't like it. Too flashy." So everything I do, I sing, you see, he sings. I sing, you see, he sings. Everything is my perception and the way I treat it. And it says the course of when I saw my husband, I thought, "Oh, he's cute." So everything he said, it was cute. So yeah, so we end up getting married. But if I was thinking, "Oh, she's like knowing, he's smiling," so we wouldn't be together. It says the course. So this is how we treat good and bad. And we need to let things happen. We need to choose to look, to find the good in there. It's our job. Our job, if we want to live in peace and prosperous life, we need to treat it as such. And it's very hard, very hard. But this is what I What do you think?
Now
It
start
sounds,
on
it sounds like you're
politics.
saying good and bad are purely subjective constructs. That there is no objective good or bad, in which case the question, since we're talking about Purim also, is that, so what's good about Haman? It's just subjective. What's the good about Haman? Huh?
I don't know. It's beyond me. I'm not saying everything is good.
Wait. Can I give one? The good thing about Haman is that without him, Mordecai would not have been Mordecai and Esther would not have been Esther. We needed the villain. He was good.
My problem with that is to say that there's something good about the Holocaust because it led to the formation of the state of Israel. There's nothing good about the Holocaust, in my opinion. And it doesn't negate that I rejoice in the formation of the state of Israel, but I don't think you can call the Holocaust good because there's a connection to the formation of the state of Israel. The Holocaust was bad, evil, no good, no exception.
But those are extremes, right? I mean, I fall with you there, but I think for there's the extremes and then there's everything in the middle.
I can.
We were just discussing Haman. That's all I.
Yeah.
It's a discussion. It's a big discussion. The Holocaust, but it's very easy to take the Holocaust. You see, the good thing that now you have a contra a claim against me. So
But Haman was trying to do the same thing in ancient Persia.
It doesn't matter, and it doesn't
And
matter.
Amalek was trying to do the same thing as we were
But
leaving Mitzrayim.
But yes,
Isn't there a difference between trying to and actually doing? Because they were trying to, but they didn't have the power to do it the way the Holocaust did.
now I'll give you another perspective of Haman. We are all agree Haman is bad because this is the story we are telling. But his wife was all for him. They were the good. I'm sure that Eva Braun said to Hitler, "You're a good person, cleaning the walls from Jews." We look at him as evil. His wife, I'm sure that she didn't.
She was evil too.
But we attribute evil to them. We put evil to the personality, this person. But they let's say don't look at themselves as doing evil.
Well, people doing evil see themselves as heroes in their own story.
Yes.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to make the point is that good and evil are not purely subjective constructs. That's what I'm pushing back against. I think there is actual real evil in the world. I believe it is man-made, and I believe Torah is the teaching that's to guide us to not be evil. We are supposed to bend to the good. We have a combination of good and evil within all of us, and the key is to not become so saintly that the world stops, but not to become evil in a way that we harm ourselves and others. That's my take on this.
Good. Thank you.
Well, Proverbs 16:4 says, "The Lord has made everything for its purpose, even the wicked for the day of trouble." So, I mean, we get You know, in the eyes of the deer, the wolf is evil. You know, in the eyes of the wolf, he's necessary for the environment. But we got to think that ultimately, what is God's end goal? Everything he does is for that end goal. And we say it twice a day in the Elena. What is the end goal of the world to come? So everything is building in that direction. And as long as we focus on that, we'll make sure we're on the right path. We got to see the whole picture, not just, you know, we think, well, what's good for me may not be good for someone else. The fire that burns down my house is great for the forest, but it's terrible for me.
Yes.
So it's about understanding in terms of good, bad, what is the ultimate picture? The ultimate picture is the world to come and the cling to Hashem. That is what's good. And anything that distracts from that is bad.
When I did my surrogacy, the pregnant was like on, and I went to Israel and was dreaming, daydreaming, and I was riding my scooter, and someone cut me, and I flew in there and found myself on the floor. It was terrible. This fall sustained me for 3 years of not having walk, having a child, and in death. I remember getting a call from the bank that I need to put money, or they will return and like bounce back the checks of the mortgage, and the lawyer called and said, you know, you had this insurance back then, and got me more money. And said, was it good, like flying in there? Was it bad? Like maybe I needed to fly in order to have money to live for 3 years. I'm saying this is what we put, the attributes, and you can see that sometimes we have consensus. We say Khamenei is bad. And so it's okay. It's okay that everybody agree. We don't have to argue all the time. But everybody agrees about the mitzvah of the Purim. And what are the mitzvahs of the Purim? What is the most important thing in the story of Purim according to Jewish tradition? What do you think?
Love stops him. That guy's love for Esther stops him.
Yes. But yes.
Well, the traditional is that God isn't mentioned in the story, so it's the people's actions, or Esther's actions, or Mordecai's actions. They took the threat seriously, and they did something to.
You were brave.
Yeah. Instead of relying on God to bring plagues or something
On the
they acted themselves.
Esther overcame great
Thank
fear and hesitation to do what was right for her people.
Our people were safe because she did not hide who she was.
So if we tell the story, let's say we try to explain someone what is Purim, what is the meaning of Purim, we said don't pretend, or what do we say?
Be yourself, right? Because
This is why we were discussing, we drink
No,
until we
I
cannot say.
know, but she does eventually reveal who she is. But if you're talking about caring for other people, standing up for what is right, standing up for yourself and your people. That's what makes her the hero, is to reveal who she is, and makes Mordecai her hero and encourage her, is to tell her not to forget who she is and to go advocate when she could have been killed.
So the title you put is Revelation.
Right. Okay.
Interesting. Zoom someone?
I don't know. I'm just connecting some things actually that other people have said around. I'm still kind of stuck on the topic from before. Go on.
Purim is not in the Torah, right? It's a scroll.
Yes, it's on the Torah, it's the Tanakh.
So how many years later would you say that story is? 1,000 years?
It was during the first exile and before they returned. So when do you put it? Michael, check with ChatGPT.
Don't you think that the lesson of Purim, the lesson of the Holocaust, and the lesson of Amalek is that you got to be on alert? There's going to be evil in your generation. You don't ever truly get rid of it. You just got to be ready to deal with it.
I think that this is like something that defines us. Like the whole dor vador, in every generation, they want to kill us. Let's eat. But yes.
It's not just with Jews though. It's the world. I mean, everybody goes through those periods of somebody's trying to kick us out,
To eliminate.
or we're trying to kick
Yes,
somebody out.
But I think that it's in our DNA, but so in every story that we try to analyze it, to break down into what's unique about this. They talk about the Purim. The sages talk about Purim as very Jewish. In Hebrew, we say arvut hadadit, collateral, like a responsibility to each other. Mordecai taking first of all, he was raising a child like his niece. It wasn't his. She took responsibility to save the people. And before she acted, she asked all the Jews in the kingdom and outside to fast with them. This is why we still fast the day before Purim, Ta'anit Esther. And then everyone participated together in the war for retaliation or of their own peace. Like here, we just take care of. We took our own fate to our own hands. God was non-participant, and we did everything one for another, and the mitzvahs, the commandments that are related to Purim are dealing with this theme specifically. What are the mitzvahs of the Purim? Besides reading the Megillah, we need to read it together. And if we talk about unity and openness, and women can read the Megillah. Usually, women are being cast out, and they can read the Megillah and exempt the others. What else we have? You can read in the paper, in the handout that I made.
Feeding.
Gifts to the poor.
Yeah.
That's good milk.
we have to give mishloach manot. What is mishloach manot? We make food and send to each other. Now, I make the mishloach manot to everyone I know, whether he has money or not. So, and everyone does the same. It's not because I'm poor I'm getting the mishloach manot, or because I am honorable or prestigious. Oh, everybody gets, and this is, and if everybody gets the same from me, everybody has the same food, and we are equal at this same day. We cannot tell apart like who is rich or who is poor. There is another mitzvah that wanted to not shame the poor by having the feast. Usually we have in the feast of the holiday when the night before, when it starts. Erev Shabbat, we have the Shabbat dinner. And the Seder is the Erev Pesach, the night before Passover. And all the holidays, Shavuot, we celebrate the night before, and the feast is the night before. The only holiday that we eat the feast of the holiday during the day is Purim. And why is that? Because when we eat, we need lights. So there is lights, there is festivities, and so you can see people who don't celebrate, and you can see people who do celebrate. And so it says that we have to celebrate during the day and invite, of course, everyone to this feast. And yeah, what else do we have?
So do we fast?
Feast, not fast.
Fast, you said fast the day before, so we'll
The day
Orthodox
before.
will fast tomorrow.
When is the holiday? The reading of the Megillah?
You start fasting.
Oh, the fast, only 2 fasts we start the night before. All the rest of the Taniyot, the fast, you do it when you wake up until darkness. The 2 are Yom Kippur, it's 25 hours, and Tisha B'Av. The Tanit Esther, it's in the morning, you wake up until the evening, and this is it. But yes, it has special attributes to it and minhagim. So we have the reading of the Torah. It's public, and everybody is equal. We have we need to drink and the only holiday that we need to drink until we are very drunk. And new commenters say, no, it's not exactly that, but yeah, it's tradition. We don't change tradition. And why is that? Because what they say, not to separate between that we cannot tell a difference between Haman and Mordecai, but it's really not to bring this unity again, to bring when I'm drunk, I'll be nice to you and him the same way. Now I don't like you. I like you. I'm joking.
Unless you're a mean drunk, there are mean drunks out there. They just get nasty.
Yes, I know. I always say I'm a good tipsy. I'm a bad drunk. and of course, this is the only time we give gifts to the poor. Like we know who needs more, who needs, and why in Purim? What's the next holiday? Passover. And in Passover, we need new clothes and we need to renew and refresh. So Purim, you get the chance to help those poor people have something new clothes, new dishes, new whatever.
You get a chance to empty out your pantry of all the things you shouldn't have.
This is for the non-Jews. And this is why we have the goyim.
Use up all the flour to make hamantash.
Right.
Give it away.
So, yeah, in Hebrew you say hamantash and you say oznei amat, the Haman's ears, because the tashen in Yiddish and in German it's pockets of man. Haman it's poppy seed. So pockets of poppy seed. But it's on Haman and nobody knew what tashen is, so they said ears of Haman. And it became ears of Haman.
Poppy seed in German, it's mo.
Mo.
Yeah.
Montage. And what do you think? What do you?
Can I
Yes.
make I'm trying to connect some things that have been talked about throughout the discussion, and I think there's something interesting about Mashlich Manot as this redistribution, right? Like where we've been talking about balance and a couple comments. So is your name Phyllis, the librarian announcements lady? I loved one of the comments that you made early on around not always knowing in the moment whether something was good or bad, whatever good or bad, whatever attributes we put to that, but not knowing in the moment until later. And then Jason, you talked about the balance of the good and the bad, and how we have that within us. And Rabbi, you talked about the right at the beginning about offerings and about doing things accurately, not more, not less, right? And so balance again, and it just has me thinking we don't always know who might be in need either. And we don't always want others to necessarily know that. I'm going to the redistribution system of Mashlich Manot here, and that it's a way to balance things out, right? And to show just enough, like kind of doing just the right amount, and it leads to this feeling of unity, I guess, within the people, right? And so we don't always know the intentions in the good or the bad at the time, but they kind of get redistributed and balanced out over time no matter what. Something along these lines.
So if we don't know if it's good or bad, let's say it's good and find a way to deal with it as good.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's good, but I don't know why it's happening to me. But let's learn something from it. It's very hard. When you get, I always give the example when you drive the car and you get the red streak of the traffic lights. One and after another, I want to get home. And like my wife is waiting, and it can drive someone crazy. But if you think about this, maybe God is put all the red lights in order, because if you go straight, like it was a green streak, there was a truck that was crossing the street, and God wanted to save you from getting there and get hit. So I always say, yes, God now is saving me from death, and
I think it gives you a lot of faith in people that they obey the traffic lights. For the most part, yeah. Could you imagine if people just said,
no,
"I'm
but
just gonna ignore it," yeah.
but maybe he's tired and he didn't notice. Maybe, maybe he lost his brakes, and anything can happen. Maybe he got a call from the phone, and now phone is bad again. And so many things can happen. We need to find what's good about this. So, but I want to say, if we started talking about how it has to be accurate and precise, and there was a lot of thought put into the mitzvahs. And now I need to bring like presents to the poor. Now what? Yes, you need. Like if you take upon yourself the burden of being a Jew, an active Jew, and not say, yeah, I'm cultural Jew. So yes, it's hard to be Jewish. So, but you take it upon yourself to participate in Jewish life and not just enjoy the Hamantash. It takes more. But this is something that you need to answer to yourself. Say, I'm cultural Jew, I'm observant Jew, I'm just studying Jew. I don't know. Whatever you define, it's a definition to yourself and the way. But when you decide what you're doing, you have exactly how to be. What are the mitzvahs? What are the what to do? Not if it's good or bad. We don't ask. We just do. And yes, I said my piece. If you have something to say, to add, to contribute.
I enjoyed the discussion about good and bad because it's really a matter of judgment.
Yes, and I hate people who see good in everything.
Or bad and everything.
I'm
So
jealous.
are those bad
If
people?
they're bad,
If people see good in everything, are they bad people?
no, I'm just jealous.
Does that make you a bad person?
There
I don't
are the
know.
people though that do come in, I've noticed even in my patients, a few patients that everything is bad. And you know what, those are the ones that really suck the energy out of you. They do.
Zoom wants to say something. Someone else in the table?
Yeah, I do. So most of you know I worked for corrections for 25 years. And general public thinks, oh, somebody committed, and mostly these are people who committed felonies. They're bad. They're criminals. They're bad people. And that is so not true.
I agree.
So not true. There were a few. I mean, there are quote bad people. There are people who are locked up in our penitentiary and will be there for life, and that's good. But most of them get out sooner or later, and mostly they get out sooner. And some of them never go to prison, but they still have committed a crime. And they are people just like the rest of us, and they can change. They do change, not always. Sometimes it takes a long time. There's some change, then it goes back, and it goes like that. But they're people just like us. And the society as a whole thinks that it's bad. Real learning experience.
I want to build on what you said because I think it's important on how we talk about people. There are people who did a bad thing, but they're still. It's like my son has a disability. He's not disabled. He is a person with a disability. You know, we have issues, but those issues don't define us. And we should draw that distinction between good and bad.
Yes.
Just thanks. You do.
Dave, you didn't speak all evening. What do you have to say about this?
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked,
So,
because I prepared a lengthy presentation.
Yes, okay, so if you have more comments you can say, if not, we can do Havdalah. You want to Havdalah? So thank you very much. Thank you for joining me to this lesson. I hope that you had fun. You can take the footnotes, and if you have questions, you can call me. There's my number in Israel, in the American one.
I have one question. It's not related. Do you think the Torah was already written by the time? Purim story. I'm getting wrestling. Who actually put the Torah? For the reason that we've been talking about Moses and the two things, you know. I went to Egypt. Nobody knows that Moses existed. I'm trying to figure out who actually put it all together. Just like Paul and them put the whole New Testament together. It seems like they're missing links.
Yes, and I think it's good that you don't know. And I don't.
And that might be.
And I don't know. As a rabbi, I don't know. As a scholar, I can look at in the university and find answers and guesses. But it's good that we don't know because it doesn't really matter. Like even when you tell, you can find the same stories in ancient cultures, other ancient cultures, and you say, you see, it's not unique. You tell the same stories, you copy. It doesn't really matter. It's like a story that you are telling. It's why you are telling the story, the way you're telling the story, and what you want to achieve by telling the story. So someone assembled all the Torah, Nevi'im, the prophets, and the writings, the Ketuvim, in order to teach us, to tell us something, even the way they constructed the stories within, in order to teach us, and because we don't know, the rabbi has abundance of ways for ceremony and teaching. Otherwise, it was the same. I'm telling you what to do, what to say. So it's good that it's open. Rashi said that it's all keys, given by God with keys. He knew what the keys were, and he was about to tell us, not us, but the real smart people. And he died before he did it. But he left us with the notion that it's all keys, it's all encrypted, and the fun is to interpret it. And you can do it.
Great.
Thank you. And yes, so where is the
306.
306? I practiced everything, including this lesson. I didn't practice the Havdalah, so forgive me. Don't judge me by the Havdalah. Did you watch the Zoom?
Yeah, I was running it.
Oh, did you like it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
No, what do you say? No.
For those online, it's 6:10 in the bracket.
306. Yeah. I'm just doing this and like
Unfortunately, we don't have Noam and his kids here.
So we'll just have to-
that's so cute, huh?
Yeah, no.
The good children.
Should be Elias. His kids.
I did it. I don't know, so I sorry.
They're
Next
bigger
time.
now.
Next time I come.
They keep doing that.
Yeah.
So הנה אל ישועתי אפחד ולא אפחד כי עוזי וזמרתי הבאים לי לישועה ושבתם מים וששון ממעייני הישועה לאדוני ישועה אנא בך ברצה סלע אדוני צבאות עמנו ישגב לנו אלוהי יעקב סלע אדוני צבאות אשרי אדם בוטח בך אדוני יושיע מלך יעננו ביום קוראנו ליהודים הייתה אורה ושמחה וששון ויקר כן תהיה לנו כוס ישועות ושא בשם אדוני אקרא.
Yes, no,
Mhm.
yes,
You all ready with the
ready if you, but yes.
so, yes? ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי אדם אפל בורא פרי אדם אפל לי לה 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 ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא מיני בשמים בורא מיני בשמים לה 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 ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא מאורע העין בורא מאורע העין לה 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 לי לה 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 לי 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 לה 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 לי לי לה 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 ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המבדיל בין קודש לחול בין אור לחושך בין ישראל לעמים בין יום השביעי לששת ימי המעשה ברוך אתה אדוני המבדיל בין קודש לחול לה 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 המבדיל בין קודש לחול חטאותינו עם חול זרענו כספנו הרבה כחול וכוכבים בלילה שבוע טוב 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 אליהו הנביא אליהו התשתי אליהו 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 הגלעדי במהרה יבוא אלינו עם משיח בן דוד אליהו אליהו התשתי
Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu הגילתי.
מרים הנביאה עוז וזמרה בידם, מרים תרקוד איתנו להגדיל זמרת עולם, מרים תרקוד איתנו לתקן את העולם, במהרה בימינו, היא תביאנו אל מי הישועה. שבוע טוב.
שבוע טוב.
שבוע טוב.
Is there anything we could have done better than?
I don't know. I need to sing, but I promise that I'll give you